Studio check.
Frequencies check.
We are live on air.
You are listening to the In Fact Blessing the Airwaves. Take the journey into the world of sports, news, entertainment, while embracing the hottest beats on the planet. Rocking the mind, body, and soul. With energy, electricity, and a splash of controversy. Now, without further ado, it's our pleasure to bring to you
The biggest show in the world.
The biggest show in the world.
the biggest show in the world, the SBTV Nation.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am the dream. This is the biggest show in the world. Today is Saturday. It is the day before the NFC AFC championship games, and we have the evil genius in the house who last week predicted the triumphant win of the Green Bay Packers. He was the only guy in this program that had the confidence to talk about the Green Bay Packers. He put his money behind it. He got down. He blew it up. Without further ado, y'all, Dr. Dizzle.
Oh, thanks, Dream. Thank you, sir. It was it got scary there at the end.
It did. Good morning, guys.
And look, I got to say this.
By the way, we got the fantasy guy on the line. Don't pay him no attention today.
I got to say this, though. I am not looking forward to the next 10 years of Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott as a Giants fan.
Oh, definitely not.
Definitely not looking forward to that. You know, that's like, I'm starting to feel that's probably what Hatter's desperation has been like with the Dolphins, just looking at like Belichick and Brady, you know?
Yeah, pretty much. Exactly. Well, there'll probably be a force to be reckoned with moving down the stretch here, guys. But good morning to everybody. We are the SBTV Nation, and we are live on all the social media outlets and just getting ready for a big weekend. And you know what, Dan, that like Dream said, congratulations on the Green Bay Packers.
Oh, thank you, sir. Yeah, no, we swept that whole weekend.
Swept the whole weekend. Good stuff.
Swept the whole weekend, baby.
So, Dream.
And Dan, the thing I love about you, though, is because, you know, one thing, you know, I know sometimes you and I are at odds, don't always agree on the same thing, but I do always love your passion and the way you will go ham on something that you believe in regardless. And that's the one thing I got to give you big ups on because, you know, I think we've all, as gamblers, you know, I've gotten hardened to some things. Sometimes, like now, like there's some stuff that I won't back down from. But after, you know, getting punched in the face a little bit here and there, you get a little bit gun shy sometimes as far as pulling the trigger. One thing about you, though, dog, you never seem to get gun shy, and I love that because, you know, that's the way, honestly, you're supposed to do it. Because at the end of the day, you probably made up for any losses that you took in the playoffs, pal, right there.
Yeah, I mean, I trust in it's like that next level. I feel like you get to a point where, yeah, you just gotta play it. And hey, look, I had like a great beginning to the bowl season, and then it just all went to hell. But I'm like, if I see something on the board that looks good, you're right, man. I gotta throw it down.
It's the way you got to be sometimes, guys. And you got to recoup.
Or the other thing is you could just not play gamble no more and just go and do fantasy stuff. Like the other portion of the show.
You know what my favorite thing is though is like when you're on a hot streak or whatever and you're doing good, but I've had a heater when you're in like a legal sports betting country or like in Vegas, like they don't really care, but like in a small book, like in Aruba or Costa Rica, and you put down like a Gianna game and you see the bookie's face, he's like, oh god, this is bad. That's like my favorite thing in the world.
Exactly.
Dream. Anyway, we didn't have you on since the win. Great job by you with the Dallas win.
I know you're thrilled, Dream.
You know I was thrilled. We didn't, just a quick recap, gang. We're not going to spend too long. I know there's a boatload of college hoop and there's some other information out there we got to get to you, but Dan's just joining us from last week. So we just want to just recap a little bit. Thoughts about the Steeler KC game as well?
Yeah, I thought the Steelers should have killed them. Settling for all those field goals, I mean, they left themselves vulnerable. I had the Steelers with the points in that game, but I also had the Steelers on an adjusted line, which, I mean, in my opinion, I feel like they should have easily covered. Mistakes like the Steelers made against Kansas City are, and I know it's not Sunday yet, but I know we're all amped for this. If the Steelers make the same offensive red zone mistakes against the Patriots, oh my God,
get blown out,
and they're not going to have even as close to as many red zone chances. I truly believe that.
But the Steelers got, I mean, I know that the Steelers are sitting around right now with IVs in their arms. We need to talk about that topic real quick, too.
18 players with the flu, Dream.
Yeah, I know. But, okay, so now here's all I want to know, though. Is Ben, Bell, Brown, Harrison, and Jesse James, do any of them guys have it?
Here's the thing, and I'm going to look into that who exactly, but I don't think that it affects your skill players, maybe your wide receivers and your running back a little bit, right?
Yep.
Here's where I get more concerned, especially against a coach like Belichick. You got a guy like LeGarrette Blount. You have Martellus Bennett. If you've been sticking IVs in your arms all week, these guys are like well-oiled machines. They're like Ferraris, right? And when you put that wrong gas in a Ferrari, it might get you like halfway there, but then it's going to crap out. I think that because of this, I really think that the second half is where the Patriots are going to really just start running over them. Because 18 players on the offense and the defense, you're talking about your line position players, your big boys. These guys might have lost 20, 30 pounds in a week.
Wow.
You're talking about guys, I mean, no joke. I mean, stomach flu. I just went through a bout of it. I lost 11.5 pounds in 2 days.
Damn.
I couldn't be pushing anybody around.
And the rumor that I got out of the Pittsburgh locker room, because I do have a relationship with one of the coaches, is that they decided to drop the flu story to keep the press away from the locker room because of the Tomlin Brown story. And this is a page out of Belichick's books that Tomlin's adopted. And all the Steelers are actually fine.
Tomlin just had to find a way to take the heat off dumbass Antonio Brown,
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Stroke of brilliance. No, hey guys, I
was just waiting for to trip somebody on the sideline again.
Don't be coming in tomorrow talking about the dreams that nobody was saying.
I am, and guys, just so you know, we're reading this from newspapers. They're just like, oh, yep, sick. By the way, I know there's supposed to be rain tomorrow. Do we know, yet? Have we seen if there's going to be that torrential rainstorm in Foxborough?
Uh-oh, Dan's giving a weather report, Dream.
I know.
Hey, Dream is just as good as me at those weather reports.
Better watch out.
At least, to my defense, there was 2 inches of snow outside my window when I reported my story, and I tweeted it. I didn't
It's okay, Dream. We'll play fantasy weatherman next year.
Yeah.
Hey, so listen, wait. By the way, back from the inaugural celebration,
yes,
is the Mad Hatter, as he was at Trump's thing yesterday, getting handcuffed and run out of the building for being a supporter.
Why? I would have been just protesting the protesters' Dream.
I said that you were being a supporter. Wasn't nobody feeling?
I was hanging with the bikers for Trump.
He went up to a group of black folks and said, "Hey, why are you trying to keep the white man down?"
Right on. I don't know. You know what? He must have been exhausted yesterday, though. He was doing balls till midnight last night, Dream.
Well, that's how it always goes
down.
The
most viral man ever, guys. Come on.
The one thing I do want to say about Trump, because part of my issues with Trump was I felt that, his diplomacy wasn't always the most professional. He did a couple of things yesterday that I felt were extremely professional and with class as a president. At the luncheon, when he acknowledged Hillary and Bill, I thought that was mad classy.
Sure.
Okay? Because he is now the president of the United States, and you just cannot go around acting the way I act as the president of the United States, which I know Trump is capable of because I've seen him act like me a bunch of times. The other thing that he did is I felt like his exchange with Obama, all the times that they were together, it always looked genuine. It didn't really look forced, and it didn't really look adversarial. And I think that's another. I'm going to give him another thumbs up for that. I thought the exchange went very smoothly. And hey, like I said, this is the new guy. If this guy succeeds, because I'm an American citizen like everybody else, it's only going to make my life better. So I'm actually hoping that he succeeds. However, should he fail, I will be the first person with the biggest mouth saying, "Look at your boy."
Well, you know what, Dream? It was genuine from three parties, but Michelle Obama clearly. I don't know if you saw the look on her face and all the memes that are out there, but she was just basically not feeling the day yesterday.
Of course not. Well, their flight to vacation after the inauguration also had to get diverted because of bad rainstorms. So I'd be pretty upset too. But guys, if you want to take this into the gambling realm, you know who my early pick for the Democratic nominee is?
Michelle?
No, Mark Zuckerberg.
No way.
I'm putting my money on it. As soon as that line comes out, Mark Zuckerberg. I guarantee it. Mark Zuckerberg, if you read the tea leaves, and guys, you could think I'm full of crap or whatever, but I actually was a poli-sci history major. I studied this stuff. What Mark Zuckerberg is doing is he's trying to visit all 50 states in the next year. Okay, he's doing things like going to Texas and putting hard hats on. I mean, come on, guys. This is a bougie California billionaire. Why else would he be doing that? Okay.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Well, you know what? He might give it a shot. And, they were saying that if Bernie Sanders was in there, he would have won this presidency. I don't see it.
Hands down. Hands down.
Really?
Hands down. Because you're talking about two populists and one who's not insane. Okay. Bernie Sanders, the thing is, Bernie Sanders actually, look, his fiscal stuff is crazy. I am against that, but I always felt that Bernie Sanders was the only guy who in a dark alley wouldn't shoot you in the back and take your wallet. Okay. Right? He actually cared about the people. And that was my thing, and I think that he would have won. I think he would have won.
All right, so listen, y'all. Look, I know Trump, whatever, Colonel Sanders and Bernie Sanders, whatever you guys want to do. Let's talk about that after the show. We got a boatload full of sports going on. We got a boatload of stories going on. First of all, there's supposed to be 18. Okay, we touched on the Steelers having the flu. There's supposed to be 18, as Dr. Dan said. Not really sure which individuals have. This story broke a little earlier in the week, gang. I think it broke around Tuesday. So, I know about the flu. Obviously, I had it. And please understand, you and I having the flu and the Pittsburgh Steelers having the flu, two different type of flus, two different type of doctors, two different type of getting relief from your symptoms type situation. So keep that in mind, because you're not like they didn't tell them to all go to CVS and get some Dayquil and some NyQuil. It called me in 2 days. The doctors jumped right on this, got IVs into the systems, got medicine into the systems. So as far as I'm concerned, there's been enough time for there to be adequate recovery, and they should be full steam ahead going into Sunday. I'd be more concerned about Ben's leg than I would be about the flu.
Fair enough. I agree with you on that 100%, Dream. Dan, what's your thoughts?
All right. Now let's move it over to the hoop real quick. Last night, Hoop World. Golden State Warriors, I don't know if you guys are aware, tearing it down right now. I don't know if that they've gelled finally offensively. I'm not sure what's going on, but right now the chemistry is looking like what we expected them to look like at the beginning of the season. As we all know, it does take these teams and take these guys a minute to, combine as a cohesive unit and to get up and down the field, up and down the court, the way they should. But it appears that they are in a little bit of a zone. That being said, you guys know I do not like this Houston Rockets team. I think they're a very overrated squad. I don't think that they have a lot of other options outside of Harden for scoring. So I'm not going to go too crazy about Golden State, but they appear to be making their move.
Did you see the over in that game, what the number ended up being?
It was 235.5.
I thought it got all the way up to 243.
Really?
I thought it got that high because I saw one of my DM guys was like, I thought it was hilarious. He was like, I thought I was looking at the All-Star game.
Yeah. It's nuts. Well, you don't have any defense there, so I completely get it.
Well, did you guys see that crazy stat on NBA? Scoring is up again, another 2.5 points.
Really?
Which, is crazy. I mean, I think it's over 104 points a game now is the average game score.
Oh, wow. Well, you know what, Dan? I'm looking at something here, and it ended up being 233, and it landed right on the number. Right on the number. Wow. Unbelievable how that all shook out like that. Crazy. And you know what? I'm gearing up for the NBA tonight, Dream, as I got a game up my sleeve. I'm waiting for the line.
All right, well, we'll be talking about it a little bit later. Let's go. Now, as we talk about Golden State, I want to move into one more thing. Guys, I don't know if you guys are aware of this. Hat, you should be aware of it, even though I know you're a fantasy guy, and you kind of haven't really talked about this much since you decided to get into the fantasy world. But anyway, the Bulls got murdered last night by to the point that Dwayne Wade actually tweeted out an apology about last night's loss. Hawks beat the Bulls 102-93. I shouldn't say a murder, but I mean, the Bulls. This is a team that the Bulls should have been able.
It was never close.
It was never. Thank you. There you go. Okay, Dan. Thank you.
It was never close. You know, it's one of those games where you're like, they got murdered, but like they kind of let them just.
Well, yeah, I mean, the Bulls outscored them by 21 points in the fourth quarter, but they were down
it was
22.
Like, they pulled everybody.
Yeah, Atlanta only had 15. Okay, here's what I love. Atlanta's first quarter, 35-13. Atlanta's fourth quarter, 15-36.
Took the foot off the gas.
So they definitely took the foot off the gas, put the B team in. Meanwhile, Dwayne Wade and them are out there as well. One more other game of note. The Brooklyn Nets
we really
beat
talked
the
about
Pelicans 143-114.
Damn.
Defense right there.
I want to know what is going on with the Pelicans right now. Did they get people out of the stands to play?
You can't say somebody won't be fired the next day.
Oh, my God.
That's only the second win of the year for the Brooklyn Nets on the road.
143. What did they find those shoes? Remember that He Got Game or one of them ones where they had those Magic Jordan shoes? Did they give everybody on Brooklyn the Jordan shoes?
I don't know. I was thinking maybe they went back in time to like the ABA and they had that red, white, and blue ball that counted as double points.
Oh my God!
Wow.
I mean, 143. That has to be.
That's ridiculous.
Is that the highest scoring game of the year?
It's close. It's definitely close,
be up
Dan.
there.
Definitely
that's
close. It's
crazy.
257 points in that game.
I mean, but I mean, has anyone scored over 143 though?
I don't think so.
That's nuts. I mean, to let the Brooklyn Nets come into your building and do that, nobody be playing tomorrow. I mean, if that's your star, I mean, I'd have to bench everybody.
Like the whole Nets team was in double digits.
And you know what? Whoever had fantasy last night had Brooklyn Nets in there. They had to win like $1 million last night. Because nobody saw that.
Here's the thing, though. There's no real – if you look at the points, like I said, the whole Brooklyn Nets team had double digits. There's nobody that, like you would expect with that score, like somebody had, like, at least 40 points.
Yeah, I get it.
Nobody had 40 points. Everybody, like, you know, you got Brook Lopez had 23. I mean, the points are spread around. Hamilton only had 6, so I guess he wasn't really involved. He was watching. He must have been sitting on the sideline going, oh. But, I mean, most of the team had a lot of points, so absolutely crazy with that particular game. Moving over to hockey real quick. The Canadians beat the Devils yesterday. Those of you that listen to the program know I was big on this game yesterday. It was a tad bit of the stomachache. Went deep into the second period, 1-1. And then finally, and I watched this game on the clicker, and I'm like, dude, I think New Jersey's going to try to get me again today. Finally, I clicked the clicker again, and you know how the clicker, you have that big delay, and then all of a sudden, like, it'll be in the second period. Then all of a sudden, you're like a minute left in the third period. You're like, okay, wait, what the hell just happened? Like, there was like you were in the Matrix for like a
That is
hour.
The toughest part about hockey, man. That's the toughest part about. I do that all the time. I'm like, oh, end of the first period. Let me, go to the bathroom. Let me get some food. 5 minutes left. Let me turn on something else. And I'm watching a basketball game. And next thing I know, it's the second intermission already.
Dude, it's crazy. But anyway, I hit the thing again, and sure enough, the Montreal Canadiens are up 3-1. And it's like a minute left in the third period. So the Canadians get it done. Guys, that was a big game I was on yesterday, so I'm glad you guys were able to get on it. NCAA college basketball news, Alonzo Trier, and I've talked about this Arizona team being good. I've talked about Arizona being very good. That being said, the guy who they thought was going to be their main scorer, which was Tier, was suspended in preseason for PED usage, all right? He was averaging 14 points basically a game last season. He got suspended at the beginning of the season, yet Arizona did not skip or miss a beat. He just was cleared and is going to be eligible for tonight's game, and that's important because tonight is a huge game for Arizona as they face off against UCLA, and we can talk about that a little bit later. I'd like to hear your guys' thoughts on what you got going on for this evening.
For sure. And just to throw one more, I don't know if you guys discussed this the other day, but I was on this game the other day. But Creighton suffered a huge injury, obviously. Maurice Watson, who tore his ACL, he was leading the nation in assists at 8.8 a game, which is ridiculous. Creighton obviously out to an 18-1 start, looked great. So obviously they have a game today where they're still favorites, but we might get into that, but be careful of that because that's a huge injury.
All right. So, Dream, you ready to make it that time?
I'm ready to make it that time. I mean, there's a lot of games.
How are you revealing your NCAA fantasy lineup?
I was going to say that. I don't know what you can add to the show today as far as fantasy is concerned. Pat, did you decide on whether we're going to do a fantasy contest for tomorrow or not?
Dan, I mean, what's your thoughts on this? There's only 4 teams. I mean, how much can you do?
I play it, but, that's me. I'll play anything.
Yeah, I just don't know if we have enough teams and enough notice here, Dream, to be honest with you. But we can do it. We can do it if you want. I mean, I'll take your money if you want me to.
Did you take money last week?
I did not take your money last week, but
thank you.
I was only $10 into the contest last week.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying?
That's all I've been into the last 2 as well. $10. So I've lost a total of $20 already. Meanwhile, tearing it up in the gambling, the real life gambling.
All right, we'll do it. I'll get it started.
But your account, I might add, is dusty with actual dust on it. You haven't touched it since probably week, 5.
Shut up, man. No, we'll be getting involved. No, I had the field goal props last week.
Okay.
So whatever.
Actually, he did. I was with him at the bar when he was calling DraftKings, trying to get a second half of live playing. And they're like, we don't do live wagers, sir.
Right on,
Hey,
guys.
real quick, before we start the games tonight and we start getting to college basketball, one more thing. In case you guys are not aware, Minnesota is now jumping on the bandwagon, trying to get sports betting legalized in their state as well. This thing is starting to get a little bit of momentum and some speed. And with the new president in office, who knows what lays for our future as sports gamblers. As Minnesota joins the party now with their own type of legislation, they're trying to get sports gambling legalized. We already know about New Jersey. South Carolina is involved as well. New York is also involved. Dude, I think it's only a matter of time before this blows. But we may have a good chance with Donald Trump in office.
I agree with you. 100%.
Oh, I mean, especially with his hotels and casinos in places where there isn't sports gambling already.
Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I mean, it only benefits him, and that's obviously something he would want to do.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, it's more of a, from what I understand, that the books don't really make a lot of money, from what I understand. It's just more of a service thing and a luxury.
It's a draw.
Yeah, okay.
It's a draw. Like, a lot of people think about it. Like, when you're in Vegas, right? If you can watch a game and play blackjack or something like that, you normally do that, right? Or at least I do that. So,
but here's
Go
ahead, Dan.
No, I was just saying. So they know, even by having the service, of sports gambling, it's just because sports is such a big thing, especially during football season, March Madness. It's just a boon, like restaurant business, club business, all that stuff. So,
but here's my thing, though, and this reminds me of the guy that says he wants a job but won't take the job at McDonald's, okay? Because my thing is, if you're broke and you need a job, or you're broke and you're starving, if somebody offers you a burger, you take it, or if McDonald's offers you a job, you take it.
Right.
Every city and state is crying broke. Everybody across the country is broke. Atlantic City, hotels are going under. So my whole thing is, I don't care what they say. People are going to gamble on sports. If that's going to give you some additional income, open your arms and welcome it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yep.
It doesn't matter how much you make or how small it is. If it's more income or the possibility of more income, because we all know billions of dollars are being spent in sports gambling. Okay, to get that money off the books and to actually get it on the books is going to be an injection of income into whatever state that finds a way to make it legal. So, and by the way, that's why Las Vegas doesn't want other states to make it legal, because even though they claim that they're not making that much money off of it, but they sure don't want nobody else making no money off of it.
And all that money's going overseas, Dream.
No.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
I mean, they estimated, like, I think it was hundreds of billions of dollars. You know, and Vegas, yeah, you're 100% right. Vegas only wanted it legal if they could put their own websites out there across the country, right? You know, so it's got to be a monopoly one way or the other. But no, I'm with you. I think you could see a very British type system soon. I just don't think this is tenable.
Got it. All right, boys. So,
all right, let's move into this evening.
Let's go right into this evening and have a conversation of what's going on tonight. You guys want to start with
some better stuff this afternoon, guys?
We're right
into the nighttime.
Well, I don't mean the night. I just meant let's get into college basketball.
The card. Let's get into the card, and I'll kick it right off with you, Dan, as you sound pretty excited about what you got going on today. Why don't you go right into it?
I got 3 plays today. And the first one is Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
At home, minus 7.5. Notre Dame is so underrated. I don't know, what people see and they don't like in them. And Syracuse, I feel like they have this name value, but they've played bad basketball, especially on the road, all year. I mean, they're getting beat down on the daily on the road. And I just think Notre Dame kills them tonight.
Okay, so you're going to lay to 7.5?
Right there with you. I love this game. I spotted it last night. Me and my boy B-Mac were talking on the phone. It was the very first game that I looked at last night. Told him Notre Dame's going to kill Cuse. Syracuse is not good this season. The perimeter shooting is not great. They obviously run an antiquated 2-3 zone. Notre Dame needs this win in a bad way. Notre Dame is, like you said, I don't know what people seem to think about them. I don't know. I'm struggling with them maybe at the 15 spot. They may not be that good considering some of the people under them that I might think may be a little bit better. However, a lot better than Syracuse. At home, line's not too heavy. Love them, even minus the spread. Think it's a good call.
Right on. I mean, this Notre Dame team is a team that beat Louisville, who I'm also very high on. They have some good road wins at Miami. And that game, I had Notre Dame plus the 6 on Wednesday at Florida State. And obviously that came down to a real nail-biter. But they lost by 3. But, I mean, I thought that was a great game. So, yeah, no, I'm with you. I think they just kill them today. And like you said, it's more about Syracuse just not seeming to be able to keep up.
Definitely not.
All right, guys. Well, good luck with that one. And that is at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you got about an hour and 20 minutes before you put that play in. Dream, where you at outside of that?
Are you able to do fantasy college basketball?
That I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I got to take a look. Take a look.
Is.
Let's see where I'm
There
at.
is, right?
Yeah.
There is. Okay, cool. Cool deal.
All right, here's the direction I'm going to go. Once again, I told you I was on the phone last night with my boy out in Tennessee, B-Mac. Me and him talk a lot anyway, but just a little bit more last night. We started picking out a couple of these games. Another one came to mind, which was the Butler Bulldogs today are playing the DePaul Blue Demons. This game slated for 2 o'clock p.m. It is in DePaul, and I know we've talked about college basketball teams on the road. However, Butler is dope.
Yes.
DePaul is dusty. Okay. Got a dope versus dusty situation, which is one of my most favorite situations to be in. I like Butler to get it done today. I think they'll be very successful today. They get good scoring out of Martin. I mean, they've got pretty much a very solid offense, and defensively they're decently sound as well. I just don't think DePaul will be up to it. Even though they are home, I think Butler comes in, plays fundamental basketball, blows the doors off. Now, if you want to tinker with this spread a little bit, because I got it 11 point, I got it 11.5. Hat, what do you got it at?
That's what I got it at.
Let me take a look here. Give me a second, because there is a plethora of games today. So
Control F it, baby. That the Control F on your book. But no, I got it 11.5. Dream, I'm with you on this.
Yeah.
My concern is at 11.5, just because I hate to look at trap games. And I know Butler's dope. I think they win the game, but I could just see it being one of those where they're up 15 with like 5 minutes left and they just kind of win by 6.
Yep.
So that's my only concern.
All right, Dream. So what are you doing with that point spread?
Well, probably going to manipulate it. Guys, I've talked about the teaser situation. If you want to get involved with probably 8 to 10, you should be very set here. I mean, you've got a boatload of games, so you should be able to find – you need to get at least 4 teams in that 8 to 10-point teaser to get it dead right. And I think there's plenty of games on – because I do have some pro basketball as well. There's a plethora of college basketball on. I think you'll be able to get that and find that. So you might want to tinker with one of those 10 or 8-point teasers and get this. If you get this under 5, you're good.
Think so?
Yep.
Why don't you do a first half money line, Dream?
I don't really mess with that too much, but that's a great idea. And we need to discuss that tomorrow. I do put that in the notes. I do want to discuss with you about those half wagers and totals, but not today.
All right. Sounds good. So I don't have any personal college basketball today because I'm going right to the NBA, but I'm going to leave it here with the college basketball and go over to Dan because he said he has 3 plays today. So, Dan, where you at next?
So my next one is another 2 p.m. start.
Okay.
And this is Louisville on the road at Florida State, +3. I just am not so high on this Florida State team. I don't know what it is about them. I know they're 17-2. I know that they look really good at times. But the thing is they're being led by freshmen. And I just think that Louisville will outcoach them. I think Louisville beats them on the road today, actually. I think they beat them on the road, but I'll take the 3 points.
Wow, you got 3 points. It started at 1 and it's up to 3 points, Dan.
Yeah, I know. And a lot of people at one point had Florida State, and then when it moved to 3, everybody was riding Louisville. I waited this out. I really think Louisville wins this game on the hardwood.
All right. Dream, what's your thoughts on that?
Tough game for me. I'm not trying to get involved with some stomach aches today, okay? As I know I'll have plenty of stomach ache tomorrow. So I'm going to stay away from this. My only thing is, I do like Louisville. I do feel like Louisville is just a tad bit undersized at some of their skill spots and positions, so to say. Especially when you look and you put it in relation to Florida State. I think Florida State's just a little bit bigger, a little bit lengthier, so to say. It's just a tough call. And sometimes Louisville can start really, really slow. I don't know if you took a look at this week. Louisville got off to that really slow start this week. They get off to a slow start against Florida State. They may not recover.
Oh, 100%. And that was horrible. I think they had, 6 turnovers in the first 5.5 minutes, missed their first 6 shots.
Right.
And then they beat Clemson by 30-something. No, I was all over that game. That was actually my largest play of college hoop. Was Louisville minus the 5 against Clemson. This game, I'm with you. I think it could be a stomach ache. I just think Louisville is actually going to finish this season as the better team. But that's me.
All right. Sounds good. Dream, where are you going next?
Well, gang, I said I don't like stomach aches, and I don't, but I am going to talk about this game for a minute because it's the game of the day. If you guys are into college basketball at all, I would recommend that you DVR it while you're in the middle of your fantasy roster for tomorrow. But the UCLA-Arizona game is going to be as good as it gets. I'm not saying I'm wagering on this game, but the X factor is like I talked about. Trier's coming back for Arizona. It's going to be very interesting because a lot of people think this UCLA team is off the chain and possibly should be the number 1 team in the country. I don't know that I necessarily agree with that, but I do hear you and I understand it. And I've seen UCLA play. They do look really, really good. Bruce Alford is a dynamic point guard. And you know that guards in college basketball are premium. They seem to, we've seen it over the years. Guards just run wild with college hoop. Kimball Walker, Buddy Hield. We could go on for days about college basketball guards. UCLA does have that additive to their game. But now, you look at this Arizona team that is as big as they get, 2 7-footers down low. The inside presence, the post game is definitely very, very effective. This Arizona team is very, very good. I almost want to tell you it is really almost worth it to take Arizona in a money line situation. You guys that love dogs, it's almost worth giving a shot here because I would not be at all surprised if Arizona surprised UCLA. The other thing we haven't talked about Arizona is the coaching staff. Hurley's a great coach over there. Gets these kids really motivated. I think this team really believes in his system. I'm going to watch this game, but I know we got some dog players in here that will pick some bad dogs in other spots anyway. So that's the only reason I'm going to offer up that suggestion. You might want to give Arizona a try because they're probably better than that 6-point spread. This game will maybe go down to the wire, and UCLA probably will only win by 4. If win it all, they could possibly get beat on the floor. You might want to give Arizona a look.
All right. Dan, what's your thoughts there? Big matchup there in the pack.
Whoa, I don't think I'm going to get involved in that. I definitely see what you're saying, Dream.
Yep.
I'm just that's a tough one. And honestly, I haven't watched a ton of the pack.
All right.
I'm not. And I hate to go with a guy that with his first start off the suspension. You just don't know how many reps he's going to get either.
Right.
So I'm gonna stay away. But best of luck.
All right.
Okay, no problem.
Sounds good. So you guys got any more college basketball?
I do.
All right. What do you got?
I'm gonna go down to the late spot, and I'm gonna go down to the Duke Blue Devils.
Oh.
Duke's playing Miami. They're hosting Miami tonight. I talked about Duke, as far as I'm concerned, not being as good as their ranking. I talked about that back when they were ranked like number 2. They're number 18 now. Okay, so obviously somebody's agreed with me as far as it not being that good. They also don't have Coach K, and this is a really tough matchup as far as I'm concerned for Duke. Miami's really going to be up for this game, and Duke is like the Dallas Cowboys. They've got the big X on their chest and a bunch of fans that are generally a little bit of headache-ish, and I happen to be a Duke fan. I just don't feel that this Duke team is that good and that athletic, and I think that 10 points is way too much for Duke to be given. I know that Duke's home. I know how hard it is to win where Duke plays at. I think Miami plus 10 is a pretty solid wager.
Really?
Yeah, I was looking at the same thing. It's just, and I know maybe Miami was overlooking that Wake Forest game, but they did lose. 96-79 at Wake.
And I like that for bounce back for Miami, though. I think that's great for them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they also, they got murdered by Cuse on the road.
No, the Cuse one is bad.
Yeah, 15 points by Cuse. I'm with you. I don't like Duke this year either. And again, I think the loss of Coach K is a big loss. Obviously, he's like one of the best ever. Oh man, I think if you're looking at a 3-team tease like you're saying, 8 or 9, and you want to add points to this,
right?
I think you do it there. I don't know if 10's necessarily enough though.
I know.
All right.
All right.
So
and you know what, Dan? You're probably right there. So, gang, keep that in mind if you're listening. Keep that in mind. And by the way, these college plays, they're not extraordinarily heavy as we're just starting to dabble with college hoop, gang. So keep that in mind before everybody's want to go ham. Listen, my money is involved with tomorrow, okay? I'm not ready to even get unleashed with college basketball yet. So keep that in mind.
All right.
Go ahead.
Dan, where you at?
All right. I got one more, and it's a 4:00 game, and that's the Auburn Tigers at home against Alabama. Obviously, a big grudge match. Crazy story going on right now. I guess I'm just seeing on Twitter that there's some severe weather, and both teams are basically hunkered down in shelters. So I don't know how that affects the potential game, but this is a pick. Auburn's 12-6, Alabama 11-6, very similar teams. I just think Auburn being at home in a grudge match type game really just benefits them, and I think they win the game.
Okay. All right. Sounds good, guys. So I think it's time to move on to the NBA because I've been sitting here listening to you guys, and I'm kind of getting excited about gambling tonight. I really am. And getting ready I'm getting ready for the game tonight, which I've been waiting for.
Mercer Madness at 2 p.m.
I'm not going to take any Mercer Madness.
Let's go in to find out how much LeBron James costs.
Here we go. We got the matchup of the night.
I want to buy LeBron James for 20 G's.
We got the matchup of the night, Dream.
Yes.
We've got the defending champions, the NBA champions, the Cleveland Cavaliers, who are hosting the San Antonio Spurs. San Antonio's 33-9. Cavs are 30-11 on the year. And you know what? I have a feeling that this will be a statement game for the Cleveland Cavaliers. They're going to get it done. It's only minus 2.5. I'm going to take them minus the 2.5. I'm going to take them on a money line as well. I'm going to compare. I'm actually going to combine them with another team on the money line, but I'm taking them. Number one reason being, obviously, for an emotional standpoint here, I believe that after the beatdown from Golden State, they have to come and make a statement tonight, especially in their house. I don't think that LeBron's going to have a massively huge night just because, we've all seen how Kawhi Leonard defends him, based on that finals a couple of years ago. Kawhi Leonard's all over him. He's a very, very good defender. So I would expect the supporting cast to actually step up to the plate and get the job done tonight. Also, with the San Antonio Spurs, guys, Paul Gasol is out. He had surgery yesterday to repair a fractured bone in his left non-shooting hand. So he is out of the game. And Tony Parker, Dream, is also banged up. I think Cleveland rolls tonight. I think they get the job done. I wouldn't expect, let me rephrase that. I wouldn't expect them to be a total annihilation or nothing like that, but I expect them to cover the 2.5, maybe be a stomach ache for a while, maybe even be down in the first half, but come back and win this game and get it done. Believe it or not, guys, and they've increased their scoring offensively from last year. They're averaging 109 points a game. Dream, what's your thoughts on the Cavs and Spurs tonight?
Tough call. Hearing the injuries and knowing that the Spurs are a little banged up, though, makes it a little bit easier, I think, as far as you're concerned, if you're gambling on it. I'm not touching this game, but I happen to agree with you. I do think that Cleveland will win because the other thing that you didn't talk about is in the rearview mirror, Cleveland is slightly watching what Golden State is doing.
Of course.
And I'm sure that they're going to want to match that a little bit and want to get involved and want to try to, get some positive stuff going on for them as well. So beating the Spurs will kind of send out a little message also to the Spurs and also to the West that we're still here. We're the Cavs. The other thing is the Spurs, out of all the West Coast teams, play more of an East Coast style of game than any of the other West Coast teams that I think Cleveland is comfortable with, and Cleveland definitely has the capability to dominate in that type of setting. It's more of a playoff-style basketball game. Cleveland is at home. I do feel like we talked about the injection of Korver into Cleveland's offense, giving him a little bit more offensive power. I do like Cleveland in this spot. I think Cleveland wins this game. I would probably, if you're messing with those college teasers and you want to get Cleveland with some points, having them +8, though, I don't think you could go wrong there either if you get involved in one of those 8 or 10-point teasers. But I'm not going to touch this game. There's a couple other basketball games that I like a little more.
Only thing is that Kevin Love missed Thursday's game with a sore back, and he's questionable for tonight. But I have a feeling he's going to be in there because this is a big game.
This is also Cleveland's second home game after, 6 consecutive on the road.
Yep.
It's a big deal in the NBA. I'm actually with you, Hatter. I might
and they had the day off last night, and they haven't traveled at all, since before Thursday. So, they've been ready for this game. I like Cleveland to get it done. That's my big play of the day. I'm actually considering putting some pretty decent money on this game tonight. So that's where I'm at.
You gotta go to Western Union?
What's that? That's you, player. That's not me.
You gotta go to Western Union.
All right. So we're all on the same side here with the Cleveland Cavaliers. But Dream, you're not putting your money on it.
I may get down
yeah,
with this.
I know I'm going to get a text from you later. All right, fine. I'm going to take your boy tonight.
Yeah, I'm on the edge because I like it. I do like it. But there's 2 other basketball games that I'm really interested in.
All right.
I got 2 emotional situational games.
I see
The
it.
first one, we're going to go to the New York Knicks.
All right.
We've been hearing all the rhetoric about the Knicks all week long. Carmelo Anthony, they want the Knicks out of there. They want Carmelo out of there. Phil Jackson back and forth. Carmelo's responded. Actually seemed like he's been the better of the 2 guys. They got a bad Phoenix Suns team coming in tonight. The Knicks are home. They just got a loss, but they played very good. They played very competitive in their game against the Wizards. This is a game that the Knicks can win. The Knicks need to step it up. It's an emotional spot, situational spot. I do like the Knicks tonight to beat the Phoenix Suns.
Okay.
The flip
This
side
is
of
the
that,
exact type of game the Knicks lose. This is like, I mean, after what happened at the end of that Washington game, I mean, look, I'm with you. They should win. Phoenix is terrible. I mean, they are a god-awful team. But for the love of God, this is like, I just could see the Knicks completely quitting. Carmelo going like 1 for 17, and some crazy stuff going on. The thing is the New York crowd is not forgiving on Carmelo Anthony. I feel like, I hear how it's emotional. I just think that everybody's fed up. Everybody's done. And he actually just came out either last night or this morning and said, you know what? Fine. If management wants to move me, then move me.
right?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I think this team, like always with the Knicks, is destined for even worse implosion than they're already at.
Wow. Interesting. Well, Dream, you know what? I wish you the best of luck on that one. I cannot touch the Knickerbockers.
Okay.
But I can go where I think you're going next. And I'd like to hear about it.
And that would be the Chicago Bulls.
Yep.
Sacramento's coming into town tonight. Chicago Bulls just off of a loss last night to Atlanta. They are at home. They need a win in the worst way. Another situation. Dwayne Wade tweeting out, an apology for the loss. I definitely like the Chicago Bulls to win tonight. So those are my two plays in NBA, the Knicks and the Bulls.
You know what? I'm with you on the Bulls 100%. I just think that I just can't see them losing tonight. If they do, I mean, they're bringing in a Sacramento Kings team who's 16-26 on the year, 8-13 on the road, and loses a 4 straight. I mean, yeah, when you look at this, the Bulls got to win this game. There's just no question about it.
I think you take the spread easy here. I think they win by double digits.
You think so, huh?
I really do.
And they just played last night in Memphis.
What's that?
They just played last night in Memphis as well.
Yeah,
and
but
I'm talking about the Sacramento Kings. So, looking at this, I really like the Bulls tonight as well. Go for it, Dan.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, the Bulls, again, it's like they aren't the Knicks, right? It's like they got embarrassed. You have obviously an aging superstar in Dwayne Wade who obviously feels terrible about what happened. I mean, it really looked bad. Like you said, if it wasn't for the Hawks at just putting in their D team in the fourth quarter, this game would have been disgusting.
Yep.
But what the Bulls did in that game is they still put up 36 in the fourth quarter, where a lesser team would have been like, you know what, forget it, we're done, and just walked off basically and quit. I think the Kings, again, just an atrocious team. The Bulls should win this game by double digits.
All right.
And the thing that bothers me with you guys a little bit with this is I know you guys like the Bulls a lot and you like them more than the Knicks. To me, the Knicks are better than the Bulls.
You think so, huh?
To me, the Knicks
talent-wise, probably, yeah. But mentally-wise,
yeah.
It's like the Knicks are almost becoming a team like with one of those self-fulfilling prophecies. You could put LeBron James on that team and somehow they would figure out how to go 500.
Yeah,
right?
Oh, I don't know about that. That's oof. I don't think there's ever been a 500 LeBron team, Dan. They make the finals every year.
But I'm just saying, it's the Knicks, man. They would figure it out.
Yeah.
Or LeBron would get injured 3 weeks into the season.
Yeah.
There'd be some way. I mean, you could put anybody on that team and it's just like a failure. I mean, you're talking about a team that hasn't been to a finals in 20 years and hasn't won since the 70s.
Yeah.
I mean, disgraceful.
All right. So I think that's going to do it for me, guys. I don't know if you got anything else up your sleeves, but I'm good.
Yep, I got more up my sleeve.
What do you got?
Hockey.
The Dream is on fire with the hockey.
The hockey.
Go for it. Where you at?
Colorado Avalanche are coming tonight into the Shark Tank. Needless to say, the Sharks will be biting tonight.
Yeah, you think so, huh?
Are dusty as hell. Listen, the Sharks should go ham tonight. I'm not going to get really involved in breaking this all down for you guys. We've been we've been riding the shark wave for a minute now, especially at home. There's no reason why we can't get down with this tonight. So this is our saving grace. If all else goes wrong all day long, the Sharks got us tonight, and they should have our backs. This Avalanche team is just not good. You know about the Sharks, one of the best teams right now in hockey. Sharks are definitely dope. They're getting it done. They're making it happen. They got the Avalanche coming in. I think the Sharks could win. 2 other light looks. Sharks is really all I'm talking about tonight and all I'm going to be focused on, but there's 2 other looks you might want to take a look at. Montreal Canadiens play again. They got the Sabres.
Love it.
All right. Canadiens did play last night. Keep that in mind. Well, we had them last night, but they are taking the Sabres on tonight. Canadiens should be no problem for the Canadiens. They should have the Sabres, but just keep in mind that they did play last night. The last game that I have on the board is, you know what? I'm going against the Devils again. They're going to play the Flyers. I like Philly. I don't love them. Very lightly. I like Philly. Don't love them. Very lightly. But I think the Devils lose again. Not taking it. Just putting it out there in case you guys are getting involved and needing one more spot of hockey. But to me, Canadiens and Sharks, dope. Love the Sharks completely. And then like the Canadiens.
All right, Dan?
I mean, Philadelphia, if you're going to play it lightly, it's just because it's the Devils, but they're in like a free fall.
Yeah,
I mean,
they are.
They've lost 7 out of 9 or something like that.
Right, that's why I like them, because I think that this is a spot they can win, and I think they'll go for it.
Yeah, I'm actually with you there. I think so. The other thing that I'm looking at is I'm going to pair something with you. Is I love the Canadiens. I know they're coming. This is a back-to-back, but I still think they get the win tonight.
Yep.
I kind of like pairing them with the Wild, who are at home against the Ducks.
Okay.
And if you pair that together, I mean that's a pretty nice thing. What is it? Plus 140.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm gonna go Canadiens and Wild.
You know what my problem with the Wild is? Their
What's that?
defense is dusty.
Yeah.
They just got the dustiest defense, man. I hate their defense. Their offense is dope, but they just don't. I don't know what it is with their defense. They just don't seem to. I don't know. There's something about their defense that just bothers me. I have gotten lucky with this team and won, but it's always been shaky with them. But I hear you. This is a game they should win at home against the Ducks. The Ducks, man, offensively, the Ducks are a problem too, though. That's a tough game, Dan.
Yeah, I just think Minnesota handled them on the road earlier, and I just think coming back home, I just think they played them really well. I mean, and look, again, super light play.
Okay.
All right.
I'm not going ham on any hockey here.
Good luck with the hockey tonight, boys. Good luck on the ice. All right, so we're getting ready to close up out of here.
Me and Dan could just take over the show.
Yeah, I don't know, Dream. You got any like tennis or anything for the guys too? You got, I don't know if you got any more. You're all over the board today. College hoop, pro basketball, hockey. Where else you going today? I'm just curious. You got any MMA like? You got any like UFC like 300 or something like that tonight? What do you got?
2 days. Just giving the nation different spots. As I recall, this is a gambling show.
Yeah, it is. It is. Very good point.
I mean, if you do, I mean, there is some interesting tennis though.
Talk to me.
I mean. And I'm trying to pull up the line right now for Federer, but this dude, I mean, if you look at what he did in his last match, I mean, he's looking as good as he's looked in years. I mean, he beat Berdych in straight sets. That game was the shortest match of the Australian Open. For an aging superstar, it's always good to have short matches, obviously. I mean, it just benefits him. I'm trying to see. He plays Nishikori. That game is obviously, the match is 3 a.m. And Federer is minus 160. I think looking at that, maybe pairing it with something might be good. But I think he gets the win.
All right. Jonesy wants to know, Dream, if you got any water polo plays.
I don't have any water polo, Jonesy, and we're supposed to cover as much as we can cover. These are the things I'm looking at today. And whatever.
Money is money is money.
right.
I don't get what's so wait. So we talked about college hoop, NBA, and NHL, and tennis. Which, if I actually didn't know, tennis is, I think, besides for soccer, the most widely gambled upon sport in the entire world.
Yeah, it is.
Football's number one, obviously, but then it's soccer and tennis. So I guess we should just ignore all that.
Well, let's go into Dream's got some NASCAR plays if you want to.
Get over to Western Union and reload, okay?
Dream, you got any NASCAR?
We're gonna get out of here today. I love. You know what? People in the nation hit me up complaining when I don't hit other stuff, and then when I hit a bunch of stuff, people got stuff to say. So you can't make everybody happy. Listen, we're out of here, gang. Best of luck today. Be careful. A lot of college hoop. Don't play yourself. Don't get too involved. Don't forget, got 2 major football games coming up tomorrow. Can't wait to talk about those. You got to break it down. We're going to try to do the show maybe without hat tomorrow. I don't know, because we don't really hear other than to play the music. He's like our resident DJ.
That's fine with me.
I want to thank everybody that's retweeted AB Lint, JDH24. Irish wristwatch is in the house. And say that 5 times in a row, and you won't have a tongue twister. Irvin is out there, Terrence Mack, G Rose, Jeff Ryan, winning picks, Benjamin Rowe, Buster Carter, Spot Bet, Cash Action Bets, Mario Martinez, Vegasville 9261, Bang the Book is in the house, my boy Rick Lopez, Sin City Maverick, my boy Jonesy, Jim Rome is a douche, Mr. Sermata's out there, Terrence Mack, Irvin, Shane Whited, one more time, condolences are out to Shane Whited, who lost his mom, guys.
Yes.
I don't know if you noticed. We announced it yesterday. Want to hit you guys off with that one more time. Thoughts and prayers go out to you in your trying time. Keep your head up. Terrence Mack is out there as well. BT, we love all you guys. You know who you are. We love the nation. Give out the plays. Go back in the show if you need to do the plays. I'm the Dream. Always remember who you're with. Make the most of each and every day. You cannot get this time back.
All right. Dan, what do you got to do to close out of here?
Yeah, so what I want to say, too, is, guys, if you like a particular line for tomorrow's conference championships, lock it in when you see it. They are going all over the place. They're up, they're down, half point here, half point there. So I'll just say lock that in. I've already got my 2 locked in, but I will be obviously revealing that tomorrow. For today, we are going to go with that Canadians and Minnesota Wild hockey, very light. But then for college hoop, we got Notre Dame -7.5, Louisville +3, and Auburn at a pick. Best of luck to everybody out there. And again, let's get that money.
All right, guys. I am on the Cleveland Cavaliers, the defending NBA champions, to beat the Spurs, cover the 2.5 point spread. Probably buy it down to 2 just to be safe, because they'll probably win by 2. I'm also going to do a moneyline parlay with the Cavs and the Chicago Bulls to bounce back, and that pays plus money. Actually pays like plus 128, so it's pretty good. With that said, guys, we love you to death. Go out there and go easy. Don't go nuts today, as you have 2 major NFL games tomorrow. And do whatever it is you got to do whatever it is you want to do in life and get that money. Let's go.
Peace.